Let's talk preschool classroom setup. Here are some of the things I've learned along the way that are important for you to know when you're setting up your preschool classroom. It's important to put your louder centers farthest away from your quiet centers. So my block center and my dramatic play are on this side of the classroom, and I know a lot of classrooms have limited space, but you just do your best. My library center and my take a break center are over here. Another thing to take into consideration is your flooring. So my classroom has two types of flooring. We have carpet and then we have a scrubbable surface. So all of the things that are messy are on this floor. So we have our sensory table, a lot of times our science center, our art table, our easel, and our Play-Doh center are all on this floor. You also want to make sure in a preschool classroom that all things for children are at eye level and you have preschool appropriate furniture. And then also, you shouldn't be having anything that they're not allowed to touch where they can easily grab it and see it. So all of the things in my classroom that my students can see, they are allowed to use, except the things behind the cabinets, which are closed, and behind my desk, which they know, but everything else is free game. I prioritize putting my science center by a window so that we can observe and take a look at nature throughout the year. The writing center has to have a wall. So this was important to me that when I was setting up this classroom, there's not a whole lot of wall space. So this is the spot that my writing center had to go. That was one of my first choices so that I can display what we're working on at the writing center. Now, I wish I had a wall at the Play-Doh center. I do wish I had one at the dramatic play, but just the way that this room works out, I didn't. So I have a tiny wall over here that I use for, a lot of our display things when we're doing dramatic play. And I use the back of the shelf for a wall as well. Another thing that you want to consider is you shouldn't really have open centers. So you need to pick furniture or different things that can divide your centers. So my block area is divided by these shelves here. So everything has its own space. When it comes to our carpet area, the space is at a premium, so I start with first things first. I want to make sure that I can fit my calendar up here. I work with this each day, and then I also have my whiteboard, so I use this for all of the different things that I'm teaching, and I'll hang my posters up there. And then I have a letter wall, and I know you want everything at eye level, but it's just not possible because space, like I said, is at a premium. So my letters are over here. Some, yes, are really high up. My numbers are really high up, which I know is not ideal. However, I felt like the way that I have everything placed, my kids work personally with the calendar. I have a leader that comes up and puts in the numbers and counts. A star chart right next to me so that I can move friends up. And then our letter wall is really important when we're teaching our letter of the week. And our birthday graph, my students just love. We actually interact with this almost daily. And then we have our question of the day right up here by us so that we can read it all together at carpet time. So these are all of the things that are really important for. Oh, and we have our classroom schedule on here. Now, again, I know this would be great to be lower, but we don't really necessarily interact with it every day, so that's where it is. So secondary things that could not fit in this space over here, we have our wow words. So these are new words that we're learning throughout the year in different books that we read, and letters that we know. So after we learn a letter, we add it to this chart. So they're near our carpet area, but there was not space for it here, and I determined what was most important to have over here. And our take a break center is nearby as well. I'm always pointing out as we're sitting here during our lesson different ways that we can solve our problems.